Hello, Thread family. So good to spend this time with you and get to share God's Word together. Look forward to it every week. And this week, we're talking about a phrase you may have heard before, the clothes make the man. But is it true? Actually, it kind of is. But I'm not talking about Christian Dior or Ralph Lauren or Tommy Hilfiger. I'm talking about the clothes that God dresses us in. And we're looking at Isaiah chapter 61, verse 10. Hear the word of the Lord. I will greatly rejoice in the Lord. My soul shall exult in my God. For he has clothed me with the garments of salvation. He has covered me with the robe of righteousness. God doesn't wait till we get things all figured out to put us in the robe of righteousness. He doesn't wait till we're righteous. He puts us in the robe of righteousness and says, here, live into these clothes. Live up to what they represent. You can now live out of my great love and wear the robe of righteousness. He didn't wait till we got it right to send his son Jesus to save us. He loved us while we were still sinners. That's amazing love. When I was in high school, one of my great friends was Tracy. And her mom, Pris, was like a second mom to me. We always gathered at her house. We could talk to her about anything. She was the kind of woman who, when she'd hear me doing something not quite right, she'd just kind of have that smirk about it, like, I know you can do better than that. And it came around town senior year, we were going to go on spring break to Padre Island. And several of the group were going to fly, but I didn't have the funds to fly, so I was going to have to drive down. Well, Pris comes to me and says, Tim, I'd really love to have a car while I'm down at Padre Island since I'm going to be the chaperone. Will you drive my car down for me? And I want you to take my mobile gas card to get you there and back. Now, the way I was living at the time, nobody would have trusted me with their car, much less to drive it 13 hours to Padre Island with their credit card. Not a chance. But Pris did. She believed in me. She was calling me to be more than what I was behaving as. She saw me as much more than what I was. And she gave me that card. And I saw it as a great responsibility to drive her car and take that card and drive it to Padre Island, Texas. And as I think back on it now, I think I don't really know how much Pris really wanted or needed a car at Padre Island. There wasn't a whole lot of driving to be done. I think she just wanted to make sure I got there. And she knew I might not otherwise because I didn't have the money to fly. That's great love. That's an example of the amazing love that God has for us. He calls us to be more than what we are. He believes in us. He loves us beyond our wildest dreams. When Jesus tells the parable of the prodigal son, what happens? The son squanders all the money, took his inheritance early from his father, as if his dad was dead, squandered it all, thinks to himself, I've got a place back home. I need to be with the Father. And he starts home and he starts rehearsing what he's going to say. Father, I've sinned against you. I'm not worthy to be your son. Make me one of your hired hands. Father, I've sinned against you. I'm not worthy to be your son. Make me one of your hired hands. He's rehearsing it the whole way home. But what happens? He gets close to home and the father's already on the stoop looking down the road waiting for his son to return. And he's not worried about his dignity. He hikes up his robe and he runs to his son. And he gets there and the son says, Dad, I'm not worthy to be your son. I've sinned against you. And before he can ever get to make me one of your hired hands, the father hugs him and says, get the robe, get the ring, get the shoes. This is my son who was lost but is now found. Break out the fatted calf. Let's have a party. My son is home. You see, he loves us so much, he doesn't wait till we get it right to clothe us in the robe of righteousness. He's got it waiting for us. He wants to clothe us in it and say, here, you can live into this. This isn't who you are. The way what you're doing now, that's not who you are. This is who you are. The Father tells us what our identity is. He tells us who we are. And he says, you are a precious loved child of mine. Welcome home. I don't know what you've done or what you think you've done that has devoided you, that has eliminated you from the love of the Father, but that's a lie. All he wants is for you to come home. Whatever it is, whatever you've done, lay it at the foot of the cross and know that Jesus paid it all. He's already paid for every single bit of it. He died on the cross for you and for me. And the Father is saying, put on this robe. This is my child who I'm pleased with. Come on home. and we can live into the clothes that he has given us. We can live into that robe of righteousness. We look at how Jesus lived his life and we say, this is where God's calling me. Wear the robe. God says, don't cast off the robe, cast off the sin, and wear this robe because you are my child. And I love you beyond your wildest dreams. Just come on home. Are you wandering? Have you walked away from the Father? Come on back home. He's waiting for you, and he's got a robe that's going to fit you perfect. Have a great day. God bless.